Time to hit the hot tub and let's see what kind of Alaska cruise deals there are. Oh, that's really cheap. I'll book that. Just me and my little polar bear friend chilling all the time in the world. Nope, I gotta pack for my cruise. This episode is sponsored by Level 8 Luggage. Level 8 makes the only luggage I'll use when I cruise. Of note, as we're getting started, I assume you are already planning to bring a winter jacket, hat, and gloves to Alaska. So let's go ahead and check off some of the staple items that you cannot go to Alaska without. And as we're getting started packing, it's important to note that, yeah, I'm a guy, so I'm gonna pack guy stuff. But you ladies out there, well, all of the items here can also pertain to you. Now, the most important thing to take with you to Alaska, it's a good set of footwear. These are my Eddie Bauer boots. I picked these up at, I don't know, Costco or BJ's Wholesale Club. You can also find them on Amazon. As a matter of fact, everything I show you in today's video will be linked on Amazon. So if you want to check it out, read the reviews, see if it's something you like, definitely get yourself a good pair of boots. No matter what, you're going to be walking a lot in Alaska. If you're anything like me, it's all about the outdoors, baby. A good pair of boots will get you a long way. These happen to be water resistant. Remember, it rains a lot up that way. So let's get the boots in the suitcase. And boots aren't the only important footwear that you're gonna wanna bring with you to Alaska, because a comfortable pair of tennis shoes, something with good support, something you've walked in before and use, it's gonna go a long way. Like I said, there's a lot of walking up in Alaska. We're gonna put these in as well. It's also important to keep your feet dry. You wanna keep the little piggies happy, warm, and not getting chafed. A nice pair of wool socks. Merino wool is highly recommended. I take a couple pairs of these with you, at least one for every day you plan to do a little bit of hiking. Make sure they're comfortable. The last thing you want is a blister. Now that we got the footwear out of the way, let's keep the outerwear rolling. The next thing that you definitely need to take with you up into Alaska, it's a really good rain jacket. This one is a weatherproof from Original Vintage brand. I wore it last year in Alaska. It held up really good to some really soggy days. Definitely want to bring this. And to go with a rain jacket, well, ladies, gentlemen, you want to cover your head. A nice hat. This one from Carhartt, it's my personal favorite. This guy, the Alaska Moose, picked it up last year up in the Great Frozen North. Hat. Check it off the list for Alaska. Now we're not done getting our outerwear packed. Next up, I'm gonna be throwing in some hiking pants, some trail pants. I actually picked these up at TJ Maxx and Ross. I like my pants to be a little bit tighter. I think the fit looks a little bit more slimming and becoming, but I also like to have a nice little grip around my ankles. What I like about these pants is they've got a lot of pockets, a lot of zippers. They're comfortable, stretchy, and they're water resistant. That's the big thing. Let's put these in. Now, I know some of you probably don't want to go out and grab hiking pants, so for those of you who don't, a nice couple pairs of blue jeans, some good solid ones that keep you warm. It's not a bad idea to bring it. You can always wear these down to the main dining room for dinner. People dress a little bit more casually on an Alaska cruise in the dining room overall, at least in my experience. So I typically bring 1 or 2 pairs of blue and 1 or 2 pairs of black jeans. Easy peasy, it's in the bag. And if you were listening there, you probably just heard me talk about getting dressed up for dinner. What I like to do in Alaska, because I like to milk every minute of my time off of the ship, I like to roll with these like fleece button downs. I know guys, gals, these always kind of seem to be in style. They're warm, they're comfortable, and they fit over everything, and they go really good with jeans. But also, you just button it up and saunter on into the main dining room right away. Don't have to get changed for dinner, so you can maximize your time on shore. Now, remember how I just said the weather is extremely unpredictable in Alaska? Well, it's so unpredictable that some days you might find yourself wearing a pair of shorts. And for that, I like the gym short material, but I like something that's a little bit more useful, a little bit more purposeful. So I go with this Up brand. I buy a lot of their shorts. I bought this brand very often from like TJ Maxx and Ross. Throw 1 or 2 of these in your bag. You never know when you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be like 65 degrees out, hiking all day in that. A pair of shorts is gonna feel real good. This one goes. And those aren't the only shorts I'm gonna be taking with me up to Alaska, because when I booked my Alaska cruise, I always book a spa pass. I don't use the spa on a Caribbean cruise. I don't use the spa on transatlantic cruises or anything else. But there's something about an Alaska cruise that just welcomes you into the spa. And so for that, there's a couple items that you need to bring. Guys, gals, bring that swimsuit along with you. I know it sounds weird. It's gonna be like snowing, cold, blowing winds. You're gonna want this, trust me, splurge, get the spa pass. You'll thank me later. Swimsuit, and to go along with it, bring yourself a pair of, slides or sandals that you can wear to and from the spa. Now we're at the point in today's video where I think it's time to introduce you to the sponsor. And it's actually the luggage that I'm packing in. This is my favorite luggage. This is what I take with me on all my cruises. This is from Level 8. I got a 2-pack of luggage from them. I have been rocking this. It features some of the things that, man, I have just dreamt about having in my suitcases. First and foremost, let's talk about the difference between a narrow handle and a wide handle in your suitcase. You have so much more control. You're able to maneuver so much more easily. Now, another huge feature for me is the built-in security of a TSA lock. All of Level 8's luggage seems to come with these wonderful little TSA approved locks. And why don't we keep rolling with some of the things that I really love about Level 8's luggage, and that is just how darn easy this stuff rolls. Check this out. I can maneuver this 50-pound giant suitcase with one finger with no trouble at all. Thank you to Level 8 for sponsoring today's video. If you'd like to get your hands on your very own Level 8 luggage, there is an affiliate link in the description down below. It directly supports this channel, and you can roll like I do. Awesome. Thanks for letting me pay the bills there for a second. There we go, a little nicer. Let's talk about shore excursions next. Starting with this little guy here. Yeah, this is a bum bag, a fanny pack, whatever you call it. These were cool in the 90s when I was a little kid, and guess what? They're back again. This is my favorite little one. Now in here, I keep basically a go kit that I take with me on every excursion. Now in Alaska, maybe you don't need this. This is my fan, one of my favorite things. However, you are gonna need some things in Alaska, and one of the most important things, and it fits in this bag, this little portable umbrella. This is like $5 or $10. In addition, I take a really cool solar USB charger. This guy is awesome. In addition to that, you will need this in Alaska. This is sunscreen. It's the banana boat. I know, the sun never sets in Alaska. It seems weird that you might take that with you on an Alaskan cruise, but it's definitely something that I would recommend. Now, one Alaska-specific thing that you probably do want to take with you, if you've been on the fence about investing in a nice camera, I mean one of those DSLRs, those mirrorless cameras, the things we YouTubers like to use, this is the time to think about spending that money, and it might be the time to think about buying some of those lenses. These suckers, they cost more than the camera most of the time. Another little camera that I really like to bring with me is this little dude right here. This is called the DJI Pocket, and mine is the Pocket 1. But as you can see, this little sucker is amazing. It is a beautifully stabilized lens. You're gonna get some great shots, and you can just kind of turn it and it will follow as you go. The new one shoots in 4K, pretty awesome, and like the name implies, you can literally just throw this in your pocket and go. And for those of you who aren't gonna have enough room in the little fanny pack we just talked about earlier, you might wanna invest in one of these packable backpacks. This one is from Samsonite. I think this one costs like $24. Definitely worth it. I take this with me and it just unfolds into a full-size backpack. This is actually water resistant, and the reason I like this one, it's a little higher quality. It's from a name brand, Samsonite, and it's got like these nice webbed shoulder straps. Definitely check this one out. This is something you should really pick up. And storage isn't the only thing you need to take with you on your Alaska cruise. You have the opportunity to see wildlife that you can't see anywhere else, and you don't want to miss that opportunity because you forgot to bring your binoculars, or you just plain said, I don't want to bring a giant set with me. Yes, binoculars can be huge, but I found that these small little ones from Tasco do a pretty darn good job as well. Now, unfortunately, we live in a day and age where you also need to be concerned with protecting your valuables. I know it's kind of sad that you have to say that, but I recently discovered this little guy. I take this with me on all of my cruises, whether they be Caribbean or elsewhere. This is a little personal safety vault, and it comes with this nice little strap that you can use to hook it around, I don't know, a chair, a tree, what have you. And it makes your valuables that you want to store inside, like your phone, your passport, your money, it makes them a little bit more secure. Now, somebody who really wanted to take this could yank on it enough times and it would go. Now, the cool thing about this is, again, for Alaska, you want things that can hold up against water, against weather and rain. And this guy, very water resistant. It's got a nice rubber seal inside. It's from Master Lock. This one, this is a must buy. I picked this up for like under 15 bucks. And speaking of protection, you need to protect yourself from the stinging insects. Yeah, it's kind of weird. You're going to a place that's covered with snow and ice. It's hard to believe that you might need bug spray, but this is definitely something you want to take with you. It's in the bag. That went right in. And now we get to the part that it's gonna be my favorite. I'm a nerd at heart. We live in a world of gadgets, electronics, internet, that kind of thing. And that means you're gonna need some solutions for your cruise cabin, for you and everyone in your family to have enough power, to have enough internet for their devices. I got the goods for you. Now, the one thing about Alaska cruises is the ships that end up there, they're often a little bit smaller or a little bit older, not always, but often. And so not all of them are guaranteed to have power outlets that you might be used to seeing in your US house. Now, this little guy from Cruise On, this is a really solid brand. I think it's the top seller on Amazon. But as a result of some of the research that I've done for Alaska cruises that I've taken, I've ended up with a few other power solutions as well. The one thing that has saved me more money on my cruises when I've gotten on board than anything else. This is gonna sound weird, but y'all, internet on cruises is darn expensive and, well, you can usually only use it on one device unless you buy one of these guys. This is my little TP-Link travel router. And the cool thing about this is the very first cruise you use it on, it more than pays itself off. What I do with this is I'm able to buy one wireless internet plan when I get on a cruise ship, and I log into it via this, and then I can share it with my laptop, my iPad, my Nintendo Switch, my phone, or my friends' cell phones, or my cabin steward cell phones. I've got a lot of cabin stewards that love me because I give them the password to this while I'm away, and when they come into my cabin, they're able to get in communication with their friends, family, and loved ones back home. This is amazing. You should pick this up right away after this video. And to keep all of these things organized, yeah, I'm an organizer somewhat. I like this little travel cable organizer. I haven't even looked into this before this video. I literally take this with me on every cruise. Look at the thing, it's in chaos. Let's move on to our next section that we need to talk about, and that's actually traveling to and from the cruise port. It's usually the worst part of the whole cruise experience. And I've got a few solutions to help make it a little bit easier for you. First and foremost, this little dude goes with me everywhere I go. It's my passport holder. Also holds my vaccine card. In there, I also usually bring some spare cash. I always travel with a backup credit or debit card. You never know when you're gonna get your info stolen and you might need an extra one. Oh, it comes with this little pen which has saved my buns quite a few times. And the other thing that saved my buns quite a few times is this little guy. Yeah, it's kind of weird looking, but what this is actually a luggage scale. You can turn it on, it's got a nice backlit screen, and all you do is you strap it around your luggage and you lift it up, and it tells you exactly how heavy your bag is. Gives you a chance to avoid those savage airline baggage fees. This thing will pay for itself really quickly as well. All you got to do is save yourself one overage fee on luggage, and it's paid itself off at least 2 or 3 times. Now, this next item is going to be a little bit more controversial. I take a lot of long flights. I live on an extreme edge of the United States, being down in Florida, and I take a lot of overnight flights because I just don't care. I like to save a few bucks to put it towards cruising. And I searched and searched for solutions to sleep on the plane, and I almost bought this thing called an ostrich pillow, which pretty much is what this is, but that was like $120. It was very expensive. With this guy, you just inflate it, you cuddle it to you, you put it on your little tray table, and you put your face in it. Yeah, this is what you do. But the nice thing is, you don't have to see people judging you while your face is in here, because you are going to be really comfortable snoozing on your 4 to 6 hour flight to Seattle or Vancouver for your Alaska cruise. And now we need to talk about some nice to have items, things that are going to make your cruise experience a little bit nicer up in Alaska. Things like chapstick, these little guys, just get a couple of them, throw them all over the place. Another thing that's really nice to have, not essential but nice to have, in every single one of my bags, I keep a little Apple AirTag. Another nice to have is a way to keep yourself entertained on your Alaska cruise. This dude, little Nintendo Switch, great battery life. This thing was amazing on my transatlantic cruise. Great entertainment in the evenings, great entertainment on the flight home. Oh, you might have noticed these. Sunglasses. Did you know the sun? It keeps odd hours in Alaska, hours that you're probably not used to it keeping. I would definitely recommend a good pair or two of sunglasses for Alaska. The other thing that you might want to invest in before your Alaska cruise and bring along with you is a little portable water bottle. This little Nalgene, it's been in my life for 5 or 10 years now. It still looks like the day I bought it. Saves you a lot of money getting on and off the ship. These nice little handles, they loop through things. You can shut the lid and it just, you forget it's there. So that about wraps up today's episode, getting ready for my Alaska cruise. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you have a wonderful time on your next Alaskan cruise. Thank you so much to Level 8 Travel for sponsoring this video and making these amazing suitcases. Check these out at the link in the description down below this video. If you like today's content, I'd love to invite you to get subscribed to this channel as I put out daily cruise news, tips, tricks, and all kinds of fun things just like this. Till next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. Oh, there's some bloopers if you want to stick around. My hands are stuck. Dang, I hate tight sleeve buttons. It's weird because I like tight sleeve pants. If I knew there was going to be a nudie scene in this picture, I'd have asked for another million. And if you don't think you're going to have enough room in that little fanny pack I showed you earlier, well, rest. And if you don't think you're going to have enough room in that little fanny pack we just talked about, sometimes... La 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 la.